Yeah, good morning folks. Catherine, your on-the-spot reporter here. We're here at the corner of Hereford Street and Fitzgerald. This is the newly rebuilt Liquorland. There was a Liquorland liquor store here, well, been here for years, and I'm not sure, it might have had a different name. It might have been called The Mill. I remember walking past here soon after the big earthquakes of 2011, and you got the smell of like beer and wine because there was like 1 million broken bottles everywhere. I'm sure that was a big insurance claim. But anyway, the building, if we're looking now, we're looking at this car park area. That's approximately where the old building used to be. And as you can see, there's a newly built building just there in the background now. So they're sort of, they got that mostly built while still trading, and then they demolished what was the old building, and it's now their car park. And as part of the, I've got the coffin out of the way first. What is interesting, they've made effectively a little mini mall out of it. Well, they've got a laundromat, and it's just opened. They were still installing the equipment when I was looking the other day. That's now open now. Interestingly, it's fully cash free. You have to use like an EFTPOS or credit card, and there's an on-screen touchscreen computer device. There is actually a staff member in there at the moment. They've got a little office, but it's not necessarily normally staffed. It's clearly designed so it can be fully automated. But yeah, you have to. You don't use coins or a token of any kind. Use your EFTPOS or Visa card. And as you see, there's a fitness gymnasium, health club, whatever you want to call it there. That's not quite open yet. There's still workers in there just getting it fitted out. But what did attract my attention, and it had scruffy grass here and a couple of half-dead cabbage trees and some few other things. Actually had a really huge cabbage tree on the corner, and obviously it's been dug out with big power equipment. That's a connection here to the city sewer, I think. I would just about be prepared to put money on the fact that a cabbage tree will re-sprout there, because if they've left some roots behind, they can re-sprout. Now, as I go slightly to the left, just a couple of metres to the right of that to the right on the picture here of that car, to the car's left, you can just barely see, standing on the footpath here, public property, that drainage grate there. And as I give you a shot of the car park, you know, the big bitumen car park, and the concrete curbing around the edge. So they might, I'm not sure if they're going to plant, they sometimes use ivy as a ground cover because it's very robust once it's established, and it doesn't need mowing like a grass. Just, you know, once every 2 years you cut it back to goodness knows what. But and then we've got little, I don't know what you call them, little traffic island things. Again, there's a curbing there and some little, I think that's a little native dwarf grasses or something that they just sort of stay as a little grass. Just try to zoom in a bit. I'm only handheld at the moment. The point I'm trying to make, and I have taken a long time to get to, is this car park, although it's 100% in compliance with all council requirements, I'm sure, it's made every mistake in the book. Now, I've got a book called Water Conservation Through Good Design, and it came from the Water Authority of Western Australia so long ago it's got a 008 phone number. And it described a far better way of making a car park. So instead of making the car park the low drain to a low point and have all these raised garden beds that will probably have some kind of irrigation, at least to get them started here in the Canterbury climate, you simply make the garden beds slightly lower than the surrounding area. You still put the concrete curbing there so the cars don't fall into it, and but with little notches cut at points into those concrete curbings, and with those either this main bed or those little things, you slope it so that the rainwater runs off the car park and into the garden bed and waters it. It's you don't need to you don't have to connect into the city sewer system or storm drain system unless you have some amount of overflowing water. But now, you might say, well, the council rules don't allow that. Well, the council rules, if that is the case, need to be changed. So, yeah, the car park complies with the requirements, but the requirements are, you know, it's from my point of looking at it, every mistake in the book. You've got your garden areas raised that therefore need irrigating, and you've still got all the storm drain runoff. Oh, hang on, we got blues and twos running here. That's right. Yep, little car there trying to get out of the way. Away he goes. Well, action and excitement here on Fitzgerald Ave, just up by the Hereford Street intersection there. Yep, we'll call it quits here, guys. So it's nice to see a little bit of development in the area, and you know, an automated laundromat and all that. Yeah, that's all good. But I think they could have done better with the car park. I would have made the car park drain into the garden beds. There's one or two places around Christchurch now where the roadside curbing goes to like a little area for a tree, and only if it overflows from that further does it go off into the storm drain system. So we need more of these sort of things. But yeah, here we go. Alright folks, that's all. Cheerio.